So I'm happy. The curtain is closed and they took their final bows, and that was it. So watching them on stage was everything to me, because I didn't know if that would ever happen this year, and it was very emotional. I cried.
I feel complete, like my senior year has been complete. Like even if I didn't get to do anything else, prom, graduation or whatnot, I still wanted to dance at Fort Hays at least one more time, be on the stage with the lights at least one more time. That's all I was hoping for from the beginning of the school year.
I'm really happy I got to do something. I really thought, there's no way that I could.
I'm mostly proud of myself for being able to stick to something and do good and be around people who are also doing good.
Dance sometimes is just made to look effortless. You're not meant to see the pain. You're meant to see the beauty of it. So that's something as dancers that we pride ourselves on, of making it look effortless as much as we can.
And this is the thing about dance, is it's you on the stage. Yes, you can play a character, but it's your body and your expressivity. It takes a heck of a lot of vulnerability, and that's a big ask for young people.
Even in the midst of a pandemic that we've never seen before, even in the midst of great tragedies that we have not seen before, the students at Fort Hays, the students in Columbus, the teachers, the staff, we all still rise up.
Tommy Emmanuel, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Maggie.
And Accomplice 2 is out now. You didn't think you could top the other Accomplice album, but it's pretty special as well. But we're thrilled to have you here today, and we've got a lot to talk about, where it all started, this latest album, the show tonight with Jorma Kaukonen.
Yeah, indeed.
Who we adore as well.
Yeah.
The show's tonight at 8, and we'll have a pair of tickets to give away for the event tonight. Details at kappa.com. It's also listed on our Facebook events. Tommy, what are you going to start us off with?
I thought I might play one of the tracks from the new album, and this is a song that I wrote as a dedication to Merle Travis's son, Tom Bresh, who passed away last year. He was quite a cannonball, that guy. He was a comet flying through our lives, like Travis was, I guess. So I tried to write this tune, and it kind of with a typical Merle Travis flavor. But then when I got to the bridge, it visits Stevie Wonder or someone like that, you know. And that's because I'm from a different generation to Merle Travis. But on the album, my buddy Richard Smith plays all the harmony parts. So today I'll have to do his part as well. So here it is, Son of a Gun.
How do you do it?
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Tommy Emmanuel joining us live from Studio A, and it's a track on the latest album, Accomplice 2, Son of a Gun, with Richard Smith. And tonight's the show, 8 o'clock, with Jorma Kaukonen, 2 separate sets, and they might get together.
We do.
For during
I haven't seen Jorma in a little while, so it'll be nice to catch up with him. And, he's been a great friend to me.
When did you first play together?
When I came to Fur Peace about 15 years ago.
Amazing place.
Yeah, maybe even more than that. Yeah.
Well, tell us about some of these other all-stars that you got lined up here. It's a 16-song track, so amazing people on here.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need anyone but yourself, but you have nice special guests on here.
Well, yeah, it was real serendipity how this album came together. I recorded it all last year, and I had one of the busiest years of my life, and so did everybody else, because, since we got over COVID and we're back out working again, everybody got busy. But it was just really fortunate, people like Billy Strings and Molly Tuttle and Jorma's track and Little Feat, Nitty Gritty, all those people. Everybody's touring, but they just happened to come through Nashville, and I was able to get them in the studio. Billy came in, and we cut the Doc Watson tunes, the first take, and then he left, and then Molly came in a little later, and we cut her track, first take as well. The artists of that level are that good. You get a good sound on your guitar and on your voice, and you can just do it.
And speaking, you mentioned Billy Strings, of course. He goes through a lot of strings.
He does. I'm sure.
How about yourself? I'm sure you do too.
Well, I played a show last night in Grand Rapids, and it was raining cats and dogs, and it was really humid, and I thought my strings are going to be dead and everything. But they sound pretty good. I'm road testing some new Martin strings.
So the thicker or thinner? I'm not a guitar player.
Oh, okay. My strings are 12 to 54 is the gauge. It's called light gauge. Okay. But most people who play electric guitar would go, oh, my God, how do you play guitar with such heavy strings? But when you play acoustic, you've got to get some kind of kickback, from the string. Like you can still get that kind of vocal singing sound, but in order to do, say if I was going to do something like 16 tons or something, I'd want that honky-tonk bottom end, like the bass sound from those strings. So you need them to be big and tough kind of thing, Yeah. So, right. They sound pretty new today, right? But I thought they were shot to pieces after the show last night. But it must have been my hearing that was shot to pieces.
Welcome to WCBE.
Thanks for having us.
We're happy to have you here and talk about this new album, I'm Okay, No I'm Not, where it all started in Cincinnati, Ohio. She's Nashville-based now. And we'll get warmed up with a song and come back and talk all about that and give some tickets away.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. What are you going to, what's the first one you're going to do?
We're starting with 8 Hours, which is off of my first record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Let's do it. Again, I'm feeling foolish, 'cause I thought she would quit. Is it something I did? Something I did. My best friend and I don't talk anymore. One day I woke up and it felt different. Is it something I said? Or something I did? Can we pretend that everything's alright? Like none of it keeps us up at night. Can we pretend that everything like we're getting 8 hours. 8 hours of sleep at night. Ooh, my neighbor's been in love since I was a kid. They just signed the papers. They're calling it quits. They said it was easy. Was it easy? 'Cause their little girl came up to me and said, Mommy's moving out, but she'll be right back. Oh, so don't tell me that's easy. Please don't pretend that everything's alright, like none of it keeps you up at night. Please don't pretend that everything's alright. You look like you got 8 hours of sleep last night. I'm one to talk about not pretending. I'm one to say you should let it out, but the truth is I haven't said what I meant in so long. I just pretend that everything's alright, like none of it keeps me up at night. I just pretend that everything's alright, like I'm getting 8 hours of sleep at night. I just pretend that everything's alright, and like none of it keeps me up at night. I just pretend that everything's alright. I wish that I got 8 hours. Oh, 8 hours of sleep at night. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
UIS for almost 15 years. When I first started, I was an instructional assistant for the ESL department. I did that for about 8 years. Then I moved on to helping with first and third grade for a few months. And then I landed in my favorite position, pre-K, and I've been there for about 7 years. I chose to work in
Hello, I'd like to call our meeting to order. First thing we'd like to do is call the roll.
Okay, Mr. Cole.
Here.
Ms. Reyes.
Here.
Mr. I'm not calling the people.
You just call the
Just the people that are here. Ms. Adair.
present. Not
Dr.
sworn yet, Tina.
Vice President Vera. Well, it's not
Here.
Vice President. Ms. Vera.
I'm
That
still a
established-
standing member.
Quorum.
Didn't swear yet.
It's good. Thank you. So that gives us quorum? Perfect. I'd like to have everybody join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I didn't think to adjust my sheet.
Good evening and Happy New Year. The first thing we'd like to do is the swearing in of newly elected members. I'd like to start with Brandon Simmons, who will be sworn in by Treasurer Vanover. Well, I'm sorry,
Representative Miller.
Representative Miller. I apologize.
chose today the U.S. Constitution and the Ohio Constitution. And my U.S. Constitution is actually from the public library because I value public services, I value and invest in our community. And also the Ohio Constitution, this is actually not the current copy. There's a special amendment that is in here on a printed out sheet of paper that Ohioans voted to put into our Constitution last November. Democracy now is more important than ever. So as I think about the words I'm about to say and the oath I'm about to take, I'm glad I'm doing it on these two books, and I'm glad that this amendment will be an Ohio Constitution for decades to come, something all of our students and everyone in this room will benefit from.
I'd just like to say it's a tremendous honor and privilege to provide the oath of office for board member-elect Brandon Simmons. Brandon has been a constituent of mine for the 7 years that I've served in the Ohio House, and he was a fantastic State House intern in our office, so this is exciting. Board member-elect, are you ready to take the oath?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I, Brandon Simmons, do solemnly swear
I, Brandon Simmons, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
faithfully and impartially
discharge my duties as a member of the Columbus City Board of Education
discharge my duties as a member of the Columbus City Board of Education
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
in accordance with the laws now in effect
and hereafter to be enacted. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Our next person will be Sarah Ingalls, who will be sworn in by the Honorable Judge David Leland.
I
I
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
as a member of the Columbus Board of Education
as a member of the Columbus Board of Education
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
and hereinafter to be enacted.
and hereinafter to be enacted.
Congratulations.
Next, we will have Jennifer Adair, who is sworn in by Judge Kristen Boggs.
Are you ready? Please raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Jennifer Adair,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as a member of the Columbus Board of Education
discharge my duties as a member of the Columbus Board of Education
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
and hereafter to be enacted.
and hereafter to be enacted.
Congratulations.
And next, we have Dr. Tina Pierce, who will be sworn in by her mother, Terry D. Taylor.
And we also have her daughters, Michelle and Catherine. I state your name.
I, Dr.
Right
Tina.
hand. Right hand in the air.
Start all over.
I state your name.
I, Dr. Tina D. Pierce,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge my duties as a member of the Columbus Board of Education
discharge my duties as a member of the Columbus Board of Education
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance
and in accordance
with the laws now in effect
with the laws now and in effect
and hereafter to be enacted.
and hereafter to be
I think we need to close. We need to close and then do roll call. Eric. Eric. Okay. Now that we have a full enacted board, we'd like to do a formal roll call with all board members.
Ms. Adair.
Present.
Mr. Cole.
Present.
Ms. Ingles.
Present.
Dr. Pierce.
Present.
Ms. Reyes.
Here.
Mr. Simmons.
Present.
Ms. Vera.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Just to make it official. Okay. So I'd like to open the floor for nominations for President Pro Temp.
I move to nominate Ramona Reyes as President Pro Temp.
Second.
Any further nominations? Hearing no other nominations, the nominations are closed. Ms. Treasurer, please call a voice vote to appoint President Pro Temp.
Ms. Adair.
Reyes?
Mr. Cole.
Reyes.
Ms. Ingles.
Reyes?
Dr. Pierce.
Reyes?
Ms. Reyes.
Reyes.
Mr. Simmons.
Reyes.
Ms. Vera.
Reyes.
Motion carries.
Now we would like to open the floor for nominations for president.
I nominate Christina Vera for president.
I second.
Board, we don't need a second for any nominations. Are there any other nominations for president? Hearing none, nominations are closed. Ms. Treasurer, please call the roll.
Ms. Adair?
Vera.
Mr. Cole?
Vera.
Ms. Ingles?
Vera.
Dr. Pierce?
Vera.
Ms. Reyes?
Vera.
Mr. Simmons?
Vera.
Ms. Vera?
Vera.
Motion carries.
Now she will do her oath with Judge Marilyn Salas.
So Christina, I'm going to start off by sharing some words with you. Okay. Because this is not only a solemn moment, but it's a historical moment. You know, from one first to another first. So as you know, I'm the first Latina to be elected to an appellate court in Ohio and in the Midwest. I'm currently the one and only. And as I understand, you're the first Latina who will serve as president of the Columbus School Board, who has a Latina heritage, and possibly at the state level as well. And so, you know, as you already know, serving here, that your community is entrusting their most valuable asset, which is their students. But you already know that. And you already know how important education is. Because we share a similar history. I mean, I will tell you, my mother only got to 7th grade. And all my mother wanted was an education for her children. We're all products of public schools. My children are all products of public schools. And my mother knew that for her children, this was their only way out. And I know that you carry, that you understand what it is, the responsibility. And I know that you know that everyone will be watching to see how the first and only does it. And I know that you're going to do it with excellence. And I know that you're going to show everyone that you're here to serve the entire community. So with that, I'm going to administer your oath. I, Christina Vera,
I, Christina Vera,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as president of the Columbus Board of Education to the best of my ability, and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted.
All right. All right. So we are now going to open the floor for nominations for vice president. Are there any nominations for vice president?
I nominate Michael Cole.
Are there any other nominations for vice president?
I nominate Dr. Tina Pierce.
Any other nominations? So at this time, there's a motion to close nominations.
You just need to close nominations.
Close nominations. All right, Treasurer Vanover, please call the roll.
Ms. Adair.
Cole.
Mr. Cole.
Cole.
Ms. Ingles.
Pierce.
Dr. Pierce.
Pierce.
Ms. Reyes.
Cole.
Mr. Simmons.
Pierce.
Ms. Vera.
Pierce.
Motion carries.
At this time, Dr. Pierce will take her oath of office, and is that Ms. Taylor again? All right, Ms. Taylor.
I state your name. Affirm that I will support the Constitution
Affirm that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of
and
the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge my duties
discharge my duties and impartially discharge my duties
as Vice President
as Vice President
of the Columbus Board of Education
of the Columbus Board of Education
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance
and in accordance
with the laws now in effect
with the laws now in effect
and hereafter to be enacted.
and hereafter to be enacted.
All right, so at this time, we are going to transition to the approval of the 2024 meeting calendar. I make a motion that we approve the 2024 meeting calendar.
So moved.
Is there any objections? Hearing no objections, Treasurer Vanover, please call the roll.
Ms. Adair.
Yes.
Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Ms. Ingles.
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce.
Yes.
Ms. Reyes.
Yes.
Mr. Simmons.
Yes.
President Vera.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, and then our next agenda item, 5.6, is a resolution to adopt the evaluation schedule for the superintendent, treasurer, internal auditor for 2024. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second. Any objections? Hearing no objections, Treasurer Vanover, please call the roll.
Ms. Adair.
Yes.
Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Ms. Ingles.
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce.
Yes.
Ms. Reyes.
Yes.
Mr. Simmons.
Yes.
President Vera.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great. And then down to 5.7, at this time, we are going to table any appointments, so that's something, more information to come on that. So at this time, I just need a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting, and then we will come back for the business meeting.
Let me first make a motion to table item 5.7.
Yes, thank you.
Second.
Treasurer Vanover.
Ms. Adair.
Yes.
Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Ms. Ingles.
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce.
Yes.
Ms. Reyes.
Yes.
Mr. Simmons.
Yes.
President Vera.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now I would need a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned.
City League is so important because it's just important to keep kids active and stay out the streets and do good.
It's kind of funny. Tajon came into us this year, but his dad, I actually coached in Little League. He played for my Columbus Day Stars.
Oh, get a break.
Coach Bell, he mean a lot to me. That's my dude. And he actually out here doing this for us. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here.
One of the things I think that separates Tajon is his work ethic and his attitude. You know, he always wants to be first. He wins in the sprints. He studies the film. Like, he spends more time on the film than some of my coaches do. You know, he studies the game of football, and he's always asking questions. And you know, I think that separates him a lot about his commitment to the game of football and trying to be the best he can be. He scored 5 touchdowns the first game. You know, I think he had 7 touches, and he had 5 touchdowns. And then the second game, he had maybe 4 touches, and he had 3 touchdowns. In our third game, he had 2 more touchdowns. The other part that's exceptional about him is that he's a pretty good defensive player.
Me and my teammates, we play a lot, and it's all about fun for real. That's all it's about, having fun. Coming out with a good attitude, positive energy, no negative. That's how we push each other.
You know, he has over 3.5 or, you know, close to a 3.6 in the classroom. So I was asking him, I said, why is it important for you to get good grades? And he said, because that's what's expected of me and my family.
Without good grades, you ain't going nowhere. You need education first to get in any school, for any sports. If you're gonna be a student athlete, you gotta have good grades. I wanna go to college because not too many people in my family went to college, and I wanna be one of them people that go forward. Not just to go to college, just to say I went to college. I wanna go to college to prove something to a lot of people.
He's coachable. He's always asking questions. You know, I give him direction. He follows it. He listens. Yeah, he definitely has the potential to be a big-time football player in the Division I level.
I want to think about entrepreneur. I want to play in NFL, but if that don't go well, my backup plan was entrepreneur.
College coaches should recruit Tajon Burns because he has world-class speed. He's a cultural changer type young man. So he definitely going to bring the energy and the leadership and the commitment to your program. So if you're out there, you D1s, D2s, you need to come see him.
College coaches should recruit me because I'm a good teammate. I'm good in the classroom, good education. I work hard. I'm nice.
Seeing students succeed is always a great feeling, and seeing students succeed in part because of the things you have taught them is even better. I guess the best part would be seeing students who don't fit in other places find their niche in my class, that is such a deeply rewarding, satisfying feeling. Here is just this square saw one wave.
Mr. Van has been a great teacher. He's probably one of the best teachers I've ever had. I see myself in him sometimes because he's very smart. He picks up on stuff quick, and he's a very good explainer. He explains stuff very well, and he's very patient with us, but he also pushes us.
He's an amazing teacher, like funny, like relates to you really well.
Marcel Harris is one of my standout students. He's been working at WCBE as an intern this year, and he has a lot of talent.
I've learned pretty much all I know right now with just production, learning through music theory. He's helped me with that. Like, I knew pretty much nothing when I came in. Now I feel confident in my skills.
Somebody pick a category. Mallet, okay? Magenta, that does sound impressive.
He's an amazing teacher, and it's not even a debate. He's coming here from junior year. Even through the pandemic, he's done his most to teach us and feed as much information to us as possible. Like, whether it be classworks or just conversations, like man to man, like human to human, he's a great person, and he cares for all the students in this class.
Mr. Van Bibber, I love him so much. I'm so glad I chose this class when I came here. I don't know where I would be at without him. I've learned so much from him, and I appreciate him, and I'm going to miss him when I leave.
I mean, just so many students, just their normal daily work, a lot of it is pretty incredible. My favorite things are when students branch out. They go above and beyond the class projects, and they're working on their own music, because that's where their passion really comes into play. And I think they get the best results is when they apply what they learned in the class to their own material.
Overzealous when the fake get jealous. Jealousy is a dangerous thing to a human being. I'm always dreaming about simple things, thinking of future things.
I'm able to give my students projects and experiences with recording, with mixing, with mastering, with post-production, with audio for video games, with live sound. All of those things, beat making, songwriting, and then they go on to become professionals in that, and they end up knowing much more than me, which is the goal. That's what I want to happen.
You should join this program because it's just a great chance to learn and grow. You have to start somewhere, and as you continue to build, you will become something. There's just no doubt about it.
If you have a knack for being creative, like if you're that kid that used to be in classes just, you know, tapping pens or just like beatboxing, if music and the process of creating music is for you, this is that program, because we have a good blend of people. It's such a great environment. It's definitely my favorite part of the day. For times where even if I miss the first half of the day for like an appointment or something like that, I still want to be here for Career Center.
Wanting to learn more about music and what it all really takes, and even like the business aspect.
It's a great experience. It's not just with producing. Like, Mr. Van gives you a lot of opportunities to learn. He had a lot of speakers come in, and he gives us a lot of internship opportunities, like radio stations.
It's a really good opportunity to learn how to create your own music if that's something you're interested in. Also, there's a lot of coding and technology.
You should join the program because you're gonna be around people who wanna do what you wanna do and have the same interests as you. That's gonna make you grow as a musician, an artist, and as an engineer.
My vision blurry, can't see the pain with my vision. It's probably cause I've been feeling division. There ain't no blood, but it's spilling. My body aching, revealing thoughts and emotions I'm feeling. Stuck in a cycle, I'm spinning. Torn all the cards I was dealing with. It's hard to smile when you feel like your happiness pilling. Like you know that the pain will hurt, but it just seems so appealing. It's hard to meditate when all the pain is still healing. Like all emotions tearing at you.
I just appreciate the fact that the people who came before me and the administration and everybody, all the teams were able to come together and make this possible for kids who want to go into this field and other fields at the Career Center.
This is what kind of built me up for real. I've tried other districts, but Columbus City has definitely put the most opportunities in my hands.
This program at Fort Hays Career Center is such a unique program. I've been all over the country and I talked to a lot of music technology teachers and audio production teachers. And one of the things that makes this program so unique among all of those great programs out there is that we are one of the only programs that teach both the electronic music beat making side. If you're a student who wants to be a part of this Career Center program or any Career Center program at Fort Hays, there's a spot for you in the Career Center. All you have to do is sign up your sophomore year. There's an application through Infinite Campus for Columbus City School students. You can also join this program if you go to Westerville, Upper Arlington, or Grandview schools, and you would go through your school to fill out an application. You can come and be a part of this program.
This is the first annual event that we've partnered with Columbus Police Department on a one-day basketball clinic. Officer Michael with the Columbus Police Department, he reached out to me to promote some positivity with police interaction with the Linden community, to get their faces out, because these are officers that patrol the Linden area. And the youth see them and understand that you don't have to feel any type of apprehensive or negativity if you run into them.
One, I love playing ball. I'm from this community. I went to Gladstone for elementary school, and my dad actually lived out here, so spent a lot of time out here. I went to church at 19th and Cleveland. Spent a lot of time up on the north side. It's just really a good opportunity to always, come back to the community, serve, allow our youth to see the human side of just being a police officer.
The vast majority of our officers are here to do what they're supposed to do, and that's protect and serve.
A lot of officers are really here for the service part, right? It shows that, we are the community as well, and they're having fun, and they're being part of the community, and they're letting our youth see, it's not all enforcement. There's a lot of service that goes into being a Columbus police officer. I took over the passing station with bounce passes, chest passes. So that's how we get our games together, is that we practice and we get better and we get better.
Our players, to have them here in a position of leadership, giving back to the community. Chris is heading to Virginia State University on a full scholarship. He was able to say that to the kids. To have the kids be able to see Philip, which is a phenomenal basketball player, but also a phenomenal student in the classroom and will be heading to college after this year. To have him come back and give back some words and them be able to see their Linden community leaders.
I think it's a great opportunity to be here for them, and to be here as their mentor, because I have 15 younger siblings at home with me, and I just treat them like my own little siblings, and it's fun working with them, knowing that I can give what I learned back to them, so when they grow up, they wouldn't have to have the same struggles.
That little orange ball can take you places and open up doors. 2021, 2022 school year, that was over $300,000 in scholarship between 7 seniors. Some for basketball and some not for basketball.
I started playing ball at 5 years old. I went to St. Charles, played ball there, got some opportunities for the next level to do college. Ended up taking an academic at The Ohio State University. Put in the work, do the things you need to do. Practice your rebounding, practice your shooting, and then when you think you're done and tired, do some more. Make sure you're taking care of your academics, because a lot of times, as it was for me, the academics is what will take you to those next levels and get you where you need to go.
My name is Lolita Vaughn, and I am a special ed instructional assistant for Columbus City Schools. I have been employed with the district for 11 plus years now. I chose to work for Columbus City School because I like helping children and families. Coming from a background of being a home child care provider for 12 years, it just fit.
They see themselves when they look at me. Most of our students, are African American, and there's not a lot of males in education. Me being in that role, pre-K teacher, being one of the first teachers that they see, I know I affect change. They see it, they see a positive role model, they see a positive male, positive figure in their life.
This past graduation class was my first class of 6th graders. So they graduated last year, and one of the area high schools has a really cool tradition where they ask their former teachers to come back and give their diploma, and I was the only middle school teacher there for this particular student, and so I got to hand her diploma, and that was probably the most memorable experience.
The district has actually provided me a lot of tools and resources. I have the latest technology currently in my classroom with the Clever Touch board. I also have the ability to get my master's degree through Columbus City Schools and take additional classes for my coursework for absolutely free and incorporate it into my teacher schedule.
I chose to work in the district because I grew up in the inner city school, and I met a school nurse that was a nurse of color, and I wanted to be in a school district that had more students that were minority so they could see that they could succeed in whatever field they chose to be in.
They have continuous trainings and workshops that we can do at our pace online through Public School Works. They also have a no-cost out-of-pocket college tuition that we can go to school to obtain our degree.
Everybody is cheering for everybody. Everybody is rooting for everybody. Everybody has one goal, and that's to educate our students. Everything focuses around our students, and that's the biggest thing. That's why I'm in Columbus. That's why I wouldn't leave Columbus. There's a lot of room for growth. You're going to continue to learn. You're going to meet so many people. You're going to connect with people. If you desire to be an administrator, you can go that route. If you desire to be in a TOSA position, a teacher on special assignment, you can go that route. You're going to grow.
You get a lot of different diverse pockets in Columbus, and I think it says a lot with the district as well. Whatever community you find yourself teaching in, you are impacting a certain community. I find myself in the east side impacting a certain, and I know friends in the north and the west side that are doing different work with different populations of students that it's really rewarding.
If you love working with students and family from all walks of life, then come join our team. The opportunity to be a part of a great team is here. I cannot say enough about friendships that I have made with so many amazing people. My family has grown and I love it. I can't wait to meet you, and welcome to our team.
My name is Sandra.
No, I have a copy for you if you like a copy.
Good evening. We are going to begin our January 9th, 2024 regular business meeting. Please call the roll.
Ms. Adair?
Present.
Mr. Cole?
I am here.
Ms. Ingles?
Here.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Present.
Ms. Reyes?
Here.
Mr. Simmons?
Present.
President Vera?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. We will not be doing a Pledge of Allegiance since we did that in our organizational meeting. Let's see here. Tonight we have 3 public comments on agenda items. We do not have anything in board matters. We are not expecting a executive report from our superintendent. We are not expecting a executive report from our internal auditor. And we are not expecting an executive report from our treasurer. We do have 1 public hearing on reemployment. In our consent agenda, items 10.1 to 25.3. We do not have an executive session.
Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Any questions or conversations? No? All right, so we will move into public comment at this time. Okay. So our first public comment is Ms. Ebony Zinn. Topic, Columbus Online Academy, K-6. Board action, I want the board to keep Columbus Online Academy up and running.
Ms. Zinn, go ahead.
Ms. Zinn, are you there?
Academy. Unfortunately, I won't have the opportunity to say this for the upcoming 2024 to 2025 school year. It's truly unfortunate that an environment where children are excelling would be eliminated due to lower enrollments. Gifter programs. Eliminating Columbus Online Academy grades K-6 is not a just solution. I humbly request that the school board reconsider this decision and keep COLA grades K-6 up and running so that the families who prefer online-based education are not forced to settle for programs of a lower quality. Our owls deserve better than this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Zinn. Our next person is Andrea Denhan. Topic, my son's IEP and transportation issues. I want the board to resolve my son's transportation issues. Ms. Denhan, are you there?
One moment, President Vera. Go ahead.
Thank you. Am I to start now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Andrea Denhan, mother of Noah Denhan Durham. Thank you for the opportunity to share with the board what has transpired regarding my son, Noah Denhan Durham's transportation challenges for his IEP. There have been numerous problems since the IEP was put into place on October 10th, 2023, such as, but not limited to, transportation not being routed for nearly a month, transportation arriving too early, too late, or not at all to both our home and school, new transportation showing up that we were never informed of, transportation having to borrow our car seat, lack of communication about transit details in general, and the violation and safety issue of transporting our son without a car seat of any kind, which is required in his IEP. With each change and inconsistency, it has adversely affected my son in the form of having bowel movement accidents he has not had in over a year, sleep disturbances, and crying episodes. While these issues alone have been daunting and frustrating, tonight I ask that you allow me to address those separately in a written communication at a later date. I ask that tonight because I wish to address the unacceptable and horrifying event that happened yesterday, January 8th, 2024. Noah was picked up at 8:10 a.m. as scheduled for transport to his pre-K inclusion class at Broadley Elementary. At 9:08 a.m., I received a Class Dojo message from his teacher, Ms. Whitman, asking if Noah was coming to school that day, as he was not there. I called the school but was unable to reach someone, so I then called the transportation company, who advised that Noah had been dropped off at 8:30 a.m. Noah's father was able to get in touch with the school and was told that this was the first they were hearing of it, and that they did not show him in attendance, and were looking into the matter. I cannot begin to explain the panic Noah's father and I felt for the next 30 minutes. While Dave frantically made calls, I couldn't sit home waiting and immediately got in my car and headed toward the school to search for my son. All I could think is, where was he dropped off? Was there an accident? Was he left unattended and wandering an unfamiliar neighborhood? Was he picked up by a stranger? Is he scared and alone somewhere? Is he hurt? And would I ever see my son again? It's never okay to lose a child. The panic and fear are real when you are a parent who's relinquished control to entrust your child's safety in someone else's care, especially a child like mine who has been identified as having special needs. This event was the worst thing that's ever happened to us. We want to be assured that this will never happen again. We want our son's IEP to be followed as written and for our son to be safely transported in a timely manner to and from school. While we sincerely appreciate everyone who has stepped in to help rectify the situation, I felt the magnitude of this occurrence warranted the board being made aware. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Denhan, for sharing. Certainly someone from our district will be reaching out to you. Please feel free also to email us your concerns. Certainly we want to hear from you, so thank you. Our next public comment is Tamara Bryant. Topic, school shooting. I want the board to rethink the cell phone policy for elementary school students. Ms. Bryant, are you here? Okay. Ms. Bryant, please feel free to call back and reschedule for a future public comment. At this time, we'll move down to board matters, which we don't have any. Superintendent, I know you don't have an executive report, but is there anything you would like to share?
Certainly, just Happy New Year. Congratulations to our new board president, Christina Vera, our new vice president, Dr. Tina Pierce. Certainly, we look forward to working with both of you in your leadership roles, and our entire board. Welcome to our new board members, Sarah Ingalls, Brandon Simmons. Also, I'd like to just remind everyone that at the next board meeting, we will be providing a report. We'll have a monitoring report on our early literacy goal. And so as a part of the board monitoring calendar, we will be delivering the monitoring report where we will communicate with the board and the community our progress toward meeting our board goal on early literacy. So all of our board members should have a copy of that report already in your inbox to review in preparation for the next meeting. So we look forward to sharing more about our early literacy progress and strategies at the next board meeting. So thank you.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. We're going to hop over to Ms. Treasurer. Ms. Vanover, how are you this evening?
Good, how are you?
Great. I know you do not have an executive report, but anything you would like to share?
Sure. I'll echo the comments from Dr. Chapman. Welcome to the new board members. Congratulations to our new president and vice president. I do want to highlight, we do not have an FAC meeting scheduled. It was previously approved on the schedule, but we did not secure a quorum. So we are going to push those topics to a February meeting, assuming all the committee structures remain intact. I also wanted to point out that based on the current terms that are set, Jeff Jordan and Jordan Miller were committee members that are set to go off of FAC, and I wanted to acknowledge their service to the district as well as to our FAC committee, and would hope that we could recognize them in some fashion perhaps at the next board meeting. Along those same lines, we received some good news this week from OASBO. We have 2 members of our staff that are receiving awards at our annual workshop in April. Eric Rausch is receiving the Chuck Gossett Legislative Advocacy Award, which is accompanied by a $1,000 scholarship for a CCS student.
Wow, congratulations.
And Betty Airy, our payroll manager, is receiving the Londa Schworking Treasurer Support Staff Award, which also is accompanied by a $500 scholarship for a CCS student. So lots of good news this week. And OASBO will, in fact, come to present, make the presentation formally at a board meeting following the annual workshop, once the official procedure and ceremony has happened. So I'll get with leadership and get that scheduled so that we can acknowledge our staff for the contributions they've made. So,
Thank you. Thank you so much, Treasurer Vanover. All right, so we're going to move on to 9.1, voting on our consent, public hearing of reemployment of retired employees. 8.1, pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code of Section 3309.345, the Columbus Board of Education gives notice that Francis Penn, who retired from the Columbus City Schools effective May 31st, 2017, as a teacher, is seeking employment with the Columbus City Schools as an elementary school teacher effective January 10th, 2024.
Madam President, I have a point of information, please.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to make a point of information. I'd like to ask a question. When I met with our internal auditor, he mentioned to me he had an employee in his office that would like to retire and be rehired. He also identified that on his October-November monthly report, and I did ask during our agenda review if that employee was going to make it onto the public hearing calendar so that there wouldn't be a delay in rehiring them. I don't see them on the calendar, and I'd like to know just where that is at in the pipeline, as it's something one of our direct reports did bring to my attention. If there's anyone from administration, Madam President, if you'd like to invite to answer that question, it might be helpful.
Unfortunately, the internal auditor is not present this evening, so certainly, if you don't mind, we'll table that and get that information, and they can